You back it up from it. Okay. I am live, y'all. I am live. I am live. Let's see what we can get done here. What is up, everybody? What is up? Okay, so I am live, guys. If you are coming in, go ahead and drop your city in the chat. As you guys are coming in, drop your city in the chat. I am logging in from Queens, New York. This is actually where I opened my first beauty supply store. So I'm going to be sharing a lot about that journey today. But y'all, this is the Encore training. So if you missed the training that I did, the first go around, we're going to be doing a second go around. So stay tuned. So like I mentioned, guys, drop your city in the chat. I would really love to know where you guys are logging in from. Let me know where you plan on opening your beauty supply store. And if you have a store, like you have a store, you have a storefront, let us know in the chat where that's going to be at. Awesome. So I see Washington, D.C. is in the building. Who else is in the building? Who else is watching, guys? Drop your city in the chat. Rep your city in the chat. Where you guys logging in from? Like I said, guys, I'm logging in from my hometown, Queens, New York. Do we have any New Yorkers in the house? New Yorkers in the building? And also, I would love to know in the chat, when are you actually planning on launching your store? Is it going to be in 2026? Are you guys looking to launch your stores in 2026? Let me know in the chat as well. When are you guys looking to launch your stores? Because, guys, we have an amazing mission to open five stores on the East Coast in the next 90 days. So, guys, let us know, when are you looking to actually start your beauty supply store? Give me a month and year in the chat. You don't have to have the exact date, but give me like a month and year in the chat of when you would like to actually start your beauty supply store. Like, when would be the ideal date for you to get started? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Okay, so what I want to do now is pivot and actually start the training for y'all. Let me see. I want to share my screen. Hopefully I can figure this out on YouTube. How I can go ahead and share my screen. All right. Well, hopefully y'all can see my screen. See my screen. Okay. All right. So we are going to get started, y'all. I am going to be talking about how to launch a profitable beauty supply store in 2026. All right. Y'all can hear me okay, right? I want to make sure y'all can hear me okay. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can see the screen. Drop a 1 in the chat if you guys can see the screen, like you can see my slides and everything. And let me know in the chat if y'all can hear, because I literally would not want to be doing this. Y'all can't hear, y'all can see. Okay, cool beans. I got a 1 in the chat. Awesome. All right, let's get it. So before we get into the slides, I have to share this legal notice, this disclaimer, y'all, because people copy my stuff. So I'm going to read this out loud, very short version of it. But this training, including all the strategies, frameworks, predictions, methods, materials, is exclusive intellectual property of Janice Fredericks and the Retail Genius. It is provided for personal educational uses only. Any reproduction, distribution, recording, sharing, or commercial use of this content, including using it for your own programs, trainings, and offers, is strictly prohibited and will be enforced under the U.S. copyright and intellectual property law. Okay, so let's just get that straight. Please, y'all don't copy that stuff, but use it to educate yourself. So the Black-owned beauty supply takeover is here, y'all. We are on this mission, like I mentioned before, to open Black stores all over the U.S., Canada, international waters, y'all. And so one thing that I love to share is that we have already started this movement. So I'm going to be sharing a lot of my success stories with my clients. Here we have Quality Beauty Supply in Grayson, Georgia, New York Beauty Supply, first Black-owned beauty supply in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Jazzy Chick out in Henderson, Nevada, Be Brave Beauty Supply, two sisters out in LA. Then we have My Shade and Texture in Tampa, Florida, House of Melanin in Oak Park, Illinois, Bold Culture Beauty in Orlando, Florida, and Mega Beauty Supply in Texas. Now, these are some of my clients that have had an extreme amount of success with operating a beauty supply business. And I just love to show you this representation because I didn't have this representation when I started my beauty supply store. And so when you are able to see yourself in other people, you are inspired to actually move forward for your whatever that dream is, right? So on tonight's agenda, we are going to be talking about the real state of beauty supply in 2026, what is changing, what store owners are doing differently, 2026 funding and capital trends, what's working right now, and how to position your store to win in this economy. Okay. And then lastly, I am going to share with you my new exciting program, my 2-day intensive program, and how you can actually work with me and my team to get your store open this year. We're also going to have a live Q&A at the end. So if you can, try to stay to the very end so that you can get your questions answered. And we're going to have a good old time, y'all. So there are some reasons why you may be here on this training today. Okay. Number one, you are tired of your 9 to 5 and you need to do work that is going to impact live. Like your 9 to 5 time has expired. Your community is waiting for your Black-owned store to be open, right? Number three, you need you need to create financial freedom and generational wealth for you and your children. If any of those reasons resonate with you, give me a yes in the chat. Give me a yes in the chat if any of those reasons resonate with you. So before we get into this wonderful training, if you are new to me, my name is Janice. I just want to give a quick introduction of myself. I have helped Black women secure over 1.5 million in funding. I have helped my clients generate over 15 million in revenue. I have been recognized by Black Enterprise Magazine as an industry and pioneer in this industry. I was a former Goldman Sachs corporate girlie. So I worked for one of the largest investment banks in the world. And then I turned from the corporate world into the business world. And now I am the #1 strategist helping Black women reclaim the beauty supply industry. I am also a single mom of 5 beautiful small kids, helping build legacy, liberation, and generational wealth. So these are some of the places that I have been featured, y'all, because I just want to show y'all this because I have been featured in a lot of publications when I had my beauty supply store because, like I mentioned, guys, there was not much representation. So when people heard that there is this young Black girl with a beauty supply store in New York City, like I said, Black Enterprise reached out. I was, interviewed in a whole bunch of blogs. And in her shoes blog, as she says, Janice Fredericks breaks barriers in the beauty supply industry. Black Enterprise says this pioneering entrepreneur talks increasing number of Black-owned beauty supply stores, y'all. This was back in 2015 where I started this work. And so what makes me very proud now is our current receipts. In 2021, Yahoo Finance wrote the beauty supply program has helped Black women generate 3 million. That was back in 2021. The Business Insider wrote the Retail Genius Bootcamp is helping fill the pockets of Black women. And then Kivo Daily says Janice Fredericks is reclaiming the beauty supply industry for Black women everywhere, y'all. So I have been in this industry for a really, really long time. I have the receipts to match. And now I'm able to help other Black women open stores, and I'm very proud to be leading this movement. So, y'all, we are already in 2026. We are already halfway done with the first month of this year. All right. So, one big question is, how would you like to spend the rest of your year? Because imagine this, by the end of this year, by the end of 2026, you could be celebrating the grand opening of your very own beauty supply store. So I just want to give you permission to dream here, right? Because this is a safe space. And right now, I want you to take the limits off, because you can be saying to yourself, I don't know if I could do this. I don't have funding. I don't have this. I don't have that. But I just want you to take a second to just be free, to be safe, and imagine that you are able to actually do this. Can you see yourself stepping into ownership in 2026? Give me a yes in the chat. Also, let me know in the chat, what would it mean to be the first Black-owned beauty supply store in your community? That mean to you to have the first Black-owned beauty supply store in your community? Because the opportunity is here, guys. The opportunity is here. All we have to do is claim it. All we have to do is claim it. So this is a picture of my grand opening in 2010, y'all. It was over 16 years ago at this point. And this was the day that my entire life changed. It was September of 2010. And I remember this day like it was yesterday. My entire family was there. I had aunts that even flew out to New York City to actually see this day. My grandmother was able to witness this great milestone of mine. God bless her soul. And I just remember the community also coming out, and coming out very heavy. And one thing that I want to mention about the community supporting Black-owned beauty supply stores is that our communities, guys, are literally waiting for a safe space to buy their beauty supply products. This is such a high demand that literally people have boycotted Target for an entire year, and they shifted and we're trying to figure out, where can we buy our beauty supply products if we're not going to the Asian owned stores and we're not going to Target. They're literally looking for your beauty supply store. And I'm telling you guys, when you open your stores in your community, especially those of you who are opening the first Black owned beauty supply store in the neighborhood, which I also opened the first Black owned beauty supply store in the neighborhood, the community supports and they come out heavy, because they're like, finally, I'm so happy you're here. I'm so glad this store is here. All of my clients say the same thing. They say, I am so happy that your beauty supply store is here. I'm so happy the store is here. I don't have to no longer go and shop with the Asians. I no longer have to go and shop with the Arabs. Like, at this point, our Black dollar can now circulate in our community. So I want to know in the comments, y'all, who is the one person that you would want to witness you open your beauty supply store? Who would you want to attend your grand opening and witness this great milestone? I want you to drop their name in the chat, whether it's your mom, your dad, your children. It's someone special that you would want to see. Someone special that you're doing this for. Because it's not enough for us to just say, like, we just want to open a business, because, like, there's someone who's literally depending on us to break certain generational curses in our family. Because here's what I will tell you about the one. Every family has the one. They have the one family member who changes everything for their entire family. They have one person who makes a different decision and just turns a different way, for the positive, of course, and changes everything for their lineage. Every family has that one person. I was that one person in my family. No one in my family did what I did. I went to school. I come from a very educated family. Like my grandparents had masters. So me going to school was not anything special. That wasn't a wow factor. But me going to business school, getting this degree, getting a good corporate job, also a good government job that I was laid off of. I'll tell y'all that later. But then deciding to now open a business in an industry where there weren't many Black owners. Now, that was very risky for my parents. They were like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I was like, "Yes, I am sure." But let me know in the chat, because this is not the story that's going to be for everybody. But are you that one in your family? Are you that one? Give me a yes in the chat if so. So, what really holds us back from opening our stores? What really holds us back as a Black community is us telling these disempowering thoughts and using disempowering language like, I don't have the time, I don't have enough money, I think the industry is oversaturated, I don't know how to get these accounts, I don't think I'll be able to compete with the Asians, I don't have the funding, I don't know. Guys, when you start this journey, I want you to stop using all disempowering language. When you start anything new, you want to make sure that you are setting yourself up for success. And it starts with the language and the things that we say to ourselves, because it all starts up here in our mindset. And in our community, especially, we have a lot of issues with our mindset, especially our money mindset. We're able to invest in a Beyonce concert, but we're not able to invest in opening a business or doing anything for ourselves that's going to actually make a return on our money. We're able to take vacations, we're able to buy cars, but we're not able to invest in businesses. We're able to go to the beauty supply store and be number one consumers, but we're less than 10% owners. And so we really have to take charge of our mindset, and it starts with our language. Okay? So now you may be saying, okay, I got this. I got the money mindset. I know I need to invest in myself, but I still have some questions. Like, can you tell me how the Asians are killing it and how they got started, and how can we get started? Are there really gatekeepers? How do I get accounts and how do I get fundings? Don't worry, this is what I'm going to literally break down in this training for you today. So the biggest reason, and the biggest important reason of why you are here is because this year is literally, this is going to be our wake up call for many Black women, because last year we saw 300,000 Black women literally lost their jobs. So this is our wake up call to ownership and for control over our destiny. Because here's the fact: the beauty supply industry is a billion-dollar industry, and it is time that we own more than just the products. It is time we own more than just the products, but we also own the shelf. So no longer do we have to fight with DEI and having certain Black-owned products on the Target shelves. We can have our own shelves if we have our own beauty supply stores. Okay? Because here's another fact, that 80% of Black women are mothers, and we are also the primary and sole breadwinners in our household. Drop a 1 in the chat if that is you. Drop a 1 in the chat if that is you. I am a single mom of 5 kids. So I recognize that I carry the household. I recognize that I also carry the vision, and my children are depending on me to make a change that is going to change the not only the trajectory of my kids, but also for my kids, because I'm looking to build generational wealth, meaning something that I could be able to pass down to my grandchildren. Okay, something that I'll be able to pass down for generations to come. Okay, to be able to point up and look at a picture on a wall somewhere in the house and say that this was our grandmother and she did some big things, or this is my great grandmother and she did some amazing things. I want to be able to leave a lasting legacy and impact, not only on my children, but for the community as well. And this is the level of impact you have when you build your Black owned business and an industry where we're still the minorities. So this is my beautiful client here. She started a store in North Dakota, Fargo. She was also a single mom of 4. She was a hairstylist, and then called me and said, "Hey, I want to turn um, I want to get from behind the chair, first of all, and want to open a beauty supply store with a salon." And that's exactly what we did. We helped her open her beauty supply store. It's called Pampered Texture, absolutely beautiful. And literally, she sent me a text in the first month of her business saying that her salon was really, really busy and she was averaging $400 to $500 a day and on her way to doubling year 2. So literally, she was making over 5 figures per month off of the dual business model, which is I will be talking about in this training on how you can do the same thing. Okay. So here's some data, guys. 2025 proved that there's still demand, right? And so beauty demand stayed strong even with economic uncertainty of 2025. Ultra raised its annual sales forecast. Okay. So foot traffic grew from 1% to 2%. Right. So the insight on this is that demand is stable. And y'all, when I tell you that I have lived through 3 recessions as I've been in this industry for over 15 years, I have lived through 3 recessions, and each time I saw the beauty supply industry go up. When people don't have money and they feel down and depressed, Black women will spend to look good. Because when you look good, you what? You feel good. So even if someone cannot afford to get their hair professionally done, they will what? They will still go to the beauty supply store to get their stuff. Maybe I'm not getting Remy hair, maybe I'm getting pack hair, but baby, I still have to go to the beauty supply store to get my stuff. And maybe I don't get it done professionally. Maybe I have my cousin do it, or maybe I go on a YouTube and I learn, but I still have to spend my money at the beauty supply store. And so this business is recession proof. I lived through it 3 times. I lived through the 2008 mortgage crisis, COVID, and the crisis that we had with Trump and the Trump administration. Okay. So, like I said, guys, the demand is stable, but the competition is shifting. So, there is plenty of room for Black owned beauty supply stores. Okay. So your opportunity is to enter now while the market is rebalancing, right? Because our weaker stores are going to decline. We've seen this with Target and its boycott, and I think they actually filed for bankruptcy. And there's been a whole bunch of big box retailers filing for bankruptcy. So what we see is the shift for strong, smaller, community centered stores. So stores that are owned by the people in the community. These types of stores have grown. Okay. And so 2026 is the year that you own the engine that we have already built, because the Black beauty and texture hair categories are growing from literally 4 to 6% annually. Okay. So that means that Black women are really becoming more conscious about wearing their natural hair, buying organic and economic conscious products. And we literally drive billions in annual beauty spend every single year. Okay. So again, demand is not the issue, ownership is. So that's why this is the year that we stop watching and we stop owning, because Black women fuel the economy. We own a fraction of the supply chain. So opening a store is not just about business, it's about economic justice at this point. And here's the thing, guys, we are not new to this, we're true to this. Because look, we have had amazing pioneers like Annie Malone and Madam C.J. Walker from the 1920s already lead the way. These women were the first self-made millionaires, female millionaires in America. And this happened in the 1920s. But understand, this happened in the sector of beauty. So these women weren't just doing products, they were doing products, they were doing manufacturing, they were doing training, and they were doing distribution. So we've already been given the blueprint that there is money to be made in the beauty industry. We just need to rise up and reclaim it because it's already been done. This is exactly how I was able to get my start during the mortgage crisis. In 2008, we saw that there was the mortgage bubble. Wall Street was in crisis. I lost my good government job. I was pushed out. And I decided, listen, I'm just going to go into entrepreneurship. But like many of you, I didn't know what business I wanted to get into. Should I do real estate? Should I do Popeyes? I had so many different ideas. But the only thing that made sense to me was a beauty supply store, because I saw the money that was being transacted every time I was in the beauty supply store. I said, there is money to be made here, no doubt about it. There's got to be a reason why all the Koreans and all of the Asians own several beauty supply stores in the hood, and they've been around for decades. We've never seen the beauty supply store disappear, ever. Like completely disappear from the neighborhood. One may shut down, but another one sprouts up. So we know from what we have seen with our eyes that this industry makes money. But I haven't seen a Black person do it. And that was when I decided, well, I'm just going to be the first. And that's when I opened my beauty supply store, Fabulous Freddy's, in Queens, New York. This was 16 years ago at this point. And now in 2026, I am now the proud owner of the #1 consulting firm that helps Black women and men open beauty supply stores in their community. I'm also a proud owner of my book, Breaking Barriers, Amazon bestseller book, where I literally teach everything in that book about opening a beauty supply store. But none of this would have ever happened if I didn't take that leap of faith and not only opening it at a time where there literally was no other Black-owned beauty supply stores, but then also opening a mortgage crisis, which was a way worse economy than what we're in right now. Like if y'all remember the mortgage crisis, people were literally gas. Like people were literally driving the gas stations, y'all. I don't know if y'all remember that. If y'all old enough, you know what I'm saying? But people were driving to the gas stations looking for gas. Gas stations were shut down. We ain't never seen anything like it. And I opened at that time. Everyone told me I was crazy, and I did it anyway because I wanted to bet on myself. Again, I wanted to be the one in my family that's going to change things. I wanted to be the person in my family that would make a different shift. And I continued to make decisions that's contrary to what anyone else wanted because God gave me a vision. God gave it to me. And so I continue to make these decisions because now I have kids and I want to give them a better life. And I want to leave a legacy for my grandchildren. And I want them to understand that it's okay to do things scared. It's okay to bet on yourself because no one else is going to bet on you but you. No one else believes in you more than you do. Okay? So now let's talk and pivot about the market by numbers because we know by now there's big spending. It's a $100 billion industry and $8 billion is driven by Black consumers, right? Owned 92% by the Asian demographic, 8% Black owned. Okay, this means less than 10% of the stores are owned by Black entrepreneurs in a market that we've built, which means, guys, we continue to fund this industry by funding the Asians because they take our money and they continue to multiply and open more stores. And it's time we shift that. So what does this mean for us in 2026? In order to win, we must start to sell products that work, right? So going beyond copy and pasting what anyone else sells, but literally educating ourselves on what works, curating intentionality. So that means experience, right? Educating our customers, keeping our shelves clean, modern, and strategic. So the era of pretty packaging is over. So now brands that will perform, they're going to be the ones that are going to dominate. So now customers are going to demand real moisture retention, real growth, real curl definition, real scalp health, real longevity under protective stylings, right? So again, guys, the fluff brands that we used to know and love, those are dead. Now people are going to be shopping at stores that have results-driven products on their shelves. Okay. So your product mix is going to be very, very important. So that's the gem number one. Okay. Y'all can start to write this stuff down. Write the gems down, y'all. Make sure y'all have your notepad and paper because I want y'all to write the gems down. You need to make sure that your product mix is results driven. Your product mix is the backbone of your beauty supply store, y'all. So that is your secret gem for a winning strategy, is to make sure that you build a results driven product mix. And you need to understand how to do this, and you need to understand what your community is looking for. There's certain communities that have the girls that wear the protective styling. There's certain communities that have the girls that wear their hair natural. And so you have to understand all of this in order to build a profitable product mix for your store. Okay. Second thing, events aren't extra. Events are going to be essential. Now, I will tell you guys, I had my beauty supply store again 16 years ago, and we were doing events. And back then, guys, people were just like, I have never been to a beauty supply store where they did an event. I was doing events monthly. So here's the thing. Your sales will spike up to 50%, especially if you decide to have events around holidays, okay? And any seasonal thing that's going on. So we had an event for Mother's Day. We had an event for our anniversary. Every anniversary, we had a big event. My birthday, we had an event. Anytime, anything that come up that we can have an event, we had an event, okay? Because not only did we want to foster a sense of community in our store, we also wanted to foster loyalty. Because check this out, events equal revenue. Events equal loyalty, and events equal volume. Because when you have an event, people are going to bring other people. They're going to bring their friends also to your store. Okay. So the gem here, gem number 2 for your winning strategy is to build a year-round event calendar for your beauty supply store. Okay. I'm going to say that again. You want to build a year-round event calendar for your beauty supply store. This is how I was able to generate 5-figure months with a small 800 square foot store. And like when I say we made 15,000, like that was like a low month. And it was a 800 square foot store, which is a very small store. But in New York City, most of our stores are really small. If you go down south and you were to double the size of my store and have a 1,600 square foot store, you can easily make 20K per month in your store by having events, by having educational workshops, by having vendors come in and sell their product, by having stylists come in and teach mothers and fathers how to do their children's hair. You can be so creative and think out the box when it comes to your beauty supply store. We also had a hair salon that also helped us with an additional revenue stream. We also had an online store. I'm going to get to all that later, but these are different things, guys. And I want you to start to see that the money is made even outside your 4 walls. Okay. Next thing, private label is going to be the new standard for your retail store. So private label is having your own brand of products in your store. Okay. It's basically taking a product, you create a product, you put your brand on that product, and it's called white label or private label. Same difference, right? This is what we have seen with the hair industry. People were getting raw hair from India. They were packaging it up, creating a brand, and having a product and literally selling it. That was the boom of selling hair, right? We saw that 10 years ago, and everybody was selling hair. This is exactly what you imagine doing that within your beauty supply store. Okay. So now we have clients that have sold their own hair. We have clients that had their own bonnets, right? So hair accessories. We have clients sell clothes. Like we have clients sell their own shea butters, their own oils. We have clients selling juices. You can do anything you want with your beauty supply store. When I tell you, we have created this program so that you can think outside of the box and have self-expression through your store, people absolutely love it. The community absolutely loves it. And so this is what I really love about this great work, is because we get to connect with people that have so many different expressions, and you're able to do whatever you want in your beauty supply store and sell whatever you want in your beauty supply store. So with private label, the great thing about this is that you are able to charge what you want to charge. And so you have higher profits, right? Which means more money back into your pockets, right? And this is the brand that you want to push. So in my store, we tested hair, of course. We tested lace fronts. We tested makeup. We tested makeup brushes, right? We tested so many different products in our store. So if I was starting over today, I would literally start with, what kind of products do I want to sell with my brand? And I would go and do that in my beauty supply store. Okay. So the strategy here is to launch a signature product, because wealth goes beyond the store walls. Okay. This is exactly what my client did in Tampa, Florida. So this is Pam. She was also a government worker who came to me and said, hey, I have my good government job and I want to open a beauty supply store in my community because there isn't one that caters to natural hair, Naturalistas. And that's exactly the brand that we helped Pam to create. So her store, My Shade and Texture, is a store that really caters to the natural girlies. And what's so amazing about her store is that she has her own DIY bar, right? So this is a bar that has Pam's natural products, like natural scrubs, like shea butter scrubs, shea oils, and her customers are able to come in and have this amazing experience where they can now mix and match all these different oils and literally create their own concoction of oils and scrubs and all the things in this store. And because she was able to create such an amazing experience, her DIY bar accounts for like over 80% of the revenue in her store. So it's not the products of like Maelle and Main Choice and all these other brands that's driving the revenue. It's her own private line that she was able to curate, and the experience that came with her having her private line that generates the most revenue in her store. I hope you guys are seeing this. So now in 2026, if you're not hybrid, you are going to get less. So this is now what I'm talking about, when customers now are expecting for you to have some technology in your store, for you to be using AI in your store. So that means shopping online and being able to pick up, buying and shopping in the store, delivery options, email and SMS updates, right? If you are not online in 2026, you're literally leaving money on the table. So we know a lot of the Asian-owned stores, they're still not online. They're still not on social. This is the area in which we actually dominate and win, because they're still not up to 2026 standards. And so now what we do with our clients is we are constantly looking at different AI tools and technology so that we can be ahead of the game, so that even if you don't have the biggest store, the one that has the most technology and the one that can get the product to the client the fastest is going to win. Okay? So your strategy here, and the fourth gem, is that you want to be thinking about building a dual channel retail machine, meaning you're selling your products on multiple platforms. So we are on TikTok Shop, right? We're online, right? We have in-store pickup. We're on DoorDash, right? Literally waking up to sales, making money in your sleep. That is the beauty of retail, is making that money in your sleep. Having that Shopify go off because someone bought hair in India or in Africa or in Canada or whatever, right? This is another client case study. This is Curly Girl Love out in Los Angeles. And this is exactly what we helped Christina do. Christina was a school teacher that she turned into a stay-at-home mom, Irish twins. And she called and said, hey, I don't want to return to the school, but I want to become a beauty boss and CEO. And so she joined our program. And within a couple of months, we were able to help her get funding for her store. And then within the year, she was able to actually open. So this is a text message that she actually sent 6 months in business. I'm like, hey girl, how is sales going since we are at the half year mark? And she says we are at $96,978. So my sister made 6 figures in 6 months. And she says, girl, yes, 12K on DoorDash online sales, right? So we're talking about other revenue streams. Who knew you can make 12,000 on DoorDash? Right? Generating over 10,000 a month on DoorDash. Like I was making 12,000 in my store. Now, if we had DoorDash back then and I knew I could make that type of money just on DoorDash, like this is what I'm talking about, guys. These are the strategies that people aren't going to tell you. These are the strategies that the Asians aren't doing. They're not on DoorDash, right? This is the way, again, that we are able to compete and win when we implement technology in our business and add in our additional revenue stream. So again, we are thinking outside of our 4 walls. How can we reach more people? How can we create that dual multi-channel machine? Okay. So getting to the bag in 2026 isn't just about you having a passion, right? Because funders and lenders is going to actually tell the story of how credible you are, right? So lenders now are still funding beauty supply stores. Like I mentioned, y'all, we got 1.4 million for our clients in funding, meaning using that OPM, other people's money. But here's the thing, you need to make sure that you have your financial projections, you have your cost analysis, and you have a business plan, because lenders are going to say no to your application if you don't have the projections, if you don't have a cost breakdown, if you don't have that retail math figured out. Okay. That business plan is going to be the key to your application, and definitely making sure that you have credit, good credit, right? Over 650. Okay. In order for them to say yes to your application.
I'm going to bring Keisha up because she has something exciting to share.
Yes, ma'am. So last week I reported that I went underwriting, and today I actually got approved for my full amount for my loan. Thank you, Janice, actually, for saying, no, call him tomorrow. I got the official email announcement today that I got the full amount that I requested. And yes,
Right.
so I'm excited.
So
I'm nervous and everything. All it took me a year to get here. I'm here now. The money is
so
available.
Well, that's so exciting. Let everyone know what the full amount is.
I got 150K.
Yes. See, it's possible, y'all. It's possible.
And in the words of Janice, everything's going to be moving fast right now.
Yes, y'all. So it is possible. My girl Keisha out in Texas, she got 150,000 in funding for her store, right? So it is possible to get the funding, and this is the type of funding we get from women every single day, right, in our programs. So y'all, to recap the 5 steps, right, that we want to look at to opening our beauty supply store, right? You want to make sure, number 1, you have a location strategy, because location is still king, right? Location is still king in 2026, okay? Number 2, you want to make sure that you have the funding and financial plan in place, so that if you're not working with someone on that, you do need to find someone who will be able to mentor you and assist you in this area. Because like I said, guys, funding is going to be paramount for your success, okay? You need to have, number 3, an inventory and merchandising strategy in place, right? When I started my beauty supply store, I had no idea where to get vendors. I had no idea what inventory I should choose. I spent $20,000 with the wrong vendors, with the wrong inventory. So that's like my $20,000 mistake. But guys, you want to make sure that as you're building your product mix, that once again, you have someone around you that's going to be able to help you in that area to make sure that you have the right vendors, you have the right pricing, and you have the right products, because this is, again, the backbone of your business. Number 4, you want to make sure that you have your back-end operations and systems set up so that your store can, again, be working off of technology and AI, because this is not the 1970s where we're just going to be working off of cash registers and just relying on in-store traffic to make money. We want to make sure that we have that dual multi-marketing and multi-omnipresent retail channel in place, so that we have multiple streams of income that's working for us while we're sleeping. And then last, number 5, which is very important, is you want to make sure that you have a launch and marketing strategy in place. So when y'all open your beauty supply store, it shouldn't be a surprise to the community. The community should be literally already on the edge of their seat waiting for this beauty supply store to open so that you have a line outside your door. Okay, you have a line outside your door come grand opening day. Okay, and so that's all in a launch and marketing strategy. Okay, so let's check in because I know I have shared so much information. Let me know if this is all helpful. Give me a yes in the chat if it is. Give me a yes in the chat. Also, let me know in the chat if you feel inspired and ready to start your own beauty supply store. Like if you see the possibilities, if you now understand how we make money in this industry and how it's possible to make 10K and 20K months through multiple revenue streams, and you understand the investment that it takes money to make money. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, give me a yes in the chat. Yes in the chat. Awesome. So if at this point you are ready and you want to officially join the movement of Black entrepreneurs taking over the beauty supply industry, I want you to type, I'm ready. I want you to type, I'm ready. If you are the one in your family and you recognize and you take ownership that I'm going to be the one that's going to change the trajectory of my family, I want you to also type in the chat, I'm the one. I'm the one. Because your next step is officially here to turn your vision into action. Now it's time to take the next step and join our beauty supply intensive program to get your store open and launched in 2026. So inside this program is our 12-month fast track program to beauty supply ownership done the right way. So this just isn't a course, guys, where you just watch and forget it. This is a full accelerator built to move you from idea to getting funding to positioning and launching your beauty supply store in 2026. So the foundation of this program is built on our 3 C's for beauty supply success. So this is our curriculum through our courses. This is through a clarity roadmap. And this is through our community where you're around like-minded people who are building a beauty supply store and you're not doing this alone. So the first C is our curriculum and courses. So you have access to our Beauty Supply University for 12 months. This is our complete retail world-class library where we have all of our courses and training curriculum that is designed to give you the step-by-step A to Z on how to get started in beauty supply. Everything from beginner steps of how to create your legal structure, what name to choose, how to do your branding, how to get funding, where to get funding, how to do your business plan, how to do your financial projections, how to get a location, what size do you need, what inventory you should get, what the vendors are like. We literally give you everything in our online portal. So we have our own vendors that we have been using for the past 15 years that we've been in this industry. These are vetted vendors. We have our own pricing structure so that you understand pricing, right? Because that's also an important thing. We have our product mix template. So literally we have a template and guide and handbook for everything. So you literally are not building anything from scratch, right? We have homework assignments and execution assignments for every single module that you will take has its own homework assignment because this is all about execution, okay? This program is all about execution. So this is a sample of what our curriculum looks like, right? So it goes, like I said, it goes through everything from A to Z, starting from building out your legal structure, creating your beauty supply roadmap, building out your business credits so that you can get funding for your store. So again, we're not using our own money, but we're using other people's money. We have our business plan and startup projections template. So this is literally a plug and play document where it's literally already built. You just have to plug and play your custom information into these documents, right? So we have the whole retail system created for you, literally on a platter for you to plug in your own beauty supply store. We have a brand identity roadmap where you're creating a brand that's going to resonate with your audience. So every story that we create, y'all, is different, right? And so that's a snippet, just a little small taste of what our curriculum looks like. But we have hundreds of different trainings and courses online. It's like going to the Harvard of beauty supply, right? So this is Flawless Beauty Supply. These are two women that opened a store. They took our program, got access to $75,000 in funding for their store. And Terrell, who opened her store, she says Janice was such a phenomenal help in getting this girl boss started. Her course had a lot of information that you cannot just get anywhere, which is the truth, y'all. There's not much information online on Google, which is going to give you like real data, real numbers, real information on what it takes to open a store. Okay, now we have our clarity step, which is our done for you business plan and financial projection. So this is one of our bonuses, y'all, that we have only for today, only on this training, that we will actually have our business writer who does our business plans for our private one-on-one clients where they're paying upwards $30,000 to work with us one-on-one. You'll get access to her to actually write and build out your business plan in your financial projections so that you can get funding for your beauty supply store. So this is like a fast track bonus that you get when you want to join the program today. Okay. And then the community part. Now, this is, to me, the most important part. So our community, we do a live in-person workshop. This is our intensive where we spend 2 days together in Atlanta, Georgia, where we actually, me and my team, are going to be looking over your shoulder and looking at all of your beauty supply assets. So we're going to be looking at the product mix. We're going to be looking at the branding. We're going to be looking at that business plan. We're going to be looking at everything and making sure that we execute everything for your store to be a success. So we're literally working on your store in person. You're getting live coaching, live feedback, and accountability, and literally at the same time building relationships with women literally all over the country because they all fly to Atlanta to attend this workshop. Okay, this workshop happens quarterly so that you can plan to attend one during your accelerator year. Okay, so this is what the full value breakdown looks like in this program, right? So you're getting the university, the Beauty Supply University, that's valued at $5,000. You're getting our one-on-one strategy and roadmap session. That's with me, right? Where I'm going to sit down with you and build out your roadmap over the next 12 months. And you're also getting our in-person workshop in Atlanta, Georgia. So altogether, the total value for everything that you're going to get is way over $9,000. Okay. This is Allure Beauty Supply. We helped this couple open about 2 years ago in Jacksonville, Florida. They also got $75,000 in funding for their store. And Jamesia, who's the owner, says Allure was our dream come true, and we could not have done it without Janice and her team. So, guys, this is what happens when you connect with a mentor who has been doing this for 15 years. You get the fast track to not only get funding for your store, but also get the success for your store. Okay. This is what the accelerator is going to help you accomplish. So the regular price for our program is not going to be $9,000, but is actually going to be $5,000, right? So literally almost half off. And this is an intentional price point because I want access to not be a barrier, right? For people to come in because we have this huge mission of 100 stores being open. So we are trying to get this information to the people who actually want it and who are ready to invest in themselves and recognize that they need to invest in themselves at a certain level if you want a certain result. So little investment, little result. Big investment, big result, right? Because we understand how our money mindset works, right? We discussed this. But here's what I got for y'all tonight on this call. Here's what I got. I got a special early bird enrollment pricing. So right now, this offer has not been released out to the public. So you guys are able to get early bird pricing at half off, which is insane. So right now on this call only, you have the ability to pay in full at only $2,500, y'all. It is a steal. We also have payment options. You can do $1,000 per month for 3 months, or you can do weekly payments of $300. But when you pay in full, y'all, you save money, okay? You save money if you have the ability to pay in full, okay? So I'm going to drop in the chat, y'all, the link to go ahead and take advantage of this amazing program and the early bird discounted pricing at 50% off, okay? Because I want everyone to not have no excuses to get into the door this year. No excuses. We are removing the excuses off the table, okay? So, why does this program exist? This program exists to remove confusion, guessing, delays, bad vendor decisions. I talked to y'all about that. I spent $20,000 with the wrong vendors, with the wrong products, costly mistakes, wrong decision, and disorganized funding plans, right? Because now we are giving you the roadmap that literally has worked for so many women nationwide. Like I've showed y'all so many different women from so many different states where the same blueprint has worked, right? So again, guys, what you are going to be getting and walking away with is 12 months in this university, your business plan, your funding map, your product mix created, right? Your vendor account secured, your POS system set up, right? Your operations manual built, right? Your grand opening strategy, your online store setup, right? And your private label roadmap so that you can create your signature product, okay? This is another success story of ours. This is New York Beauty Supply out in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Now, these two guys on the end are actually the owners, and the girls in the middle. It's like a combination of family, friends, girlfriends, all the things, right? But these two guys called me and they were like, hey, we want to open a store in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Can you help us? I was like, absolutely. They were like, I don't know. Do you think because we're men, it's going to work? I said, it's going to work because you are men. Okay. And it's going to work because now you have me as your mentor. And their grand opening weekend, they generated over $10,000 in 2 days. Now, I used to generate over $10,000 in 1 month, but because they got the fast track and we continue to work on all of our formulas every single year, every single client, they was able to make that type of money in 2 days. Raise your hand if you want to make $10,000 in 2 days. Raise your, and you ain't got to do no illegal stuff. We slinging these bundles, baby. Look at the bundles in the back. Look at their signature product with their brand on it in the back. This is how we make $10,000 in 2 days. So again, guys, this is what the program is going to help you achieve. Okay. So when you enroll today, we have the bonuses that literally are only available today. And because I love action takers, and action takers are money makers, and action takers are always my best clients, we have these amazing bonuses. Okay. So again, you'll get the business plan and financial projections tonight. You'll also get access to our signature vendor assistance delivery program so that your vendor accounts are set up. This is what we will do on your behalf for you as well. So this is a cost of $7,500, but if you join the program today, you'll also get access to our vendor assistance program where we set up your vendor accounts for you. We do your product selection, and you're able to leverage our industry relationships, all done for you. So you get 2 done for you elements when you sign up today. Okay. So again, the early bird discounted price for pay in full is $2,500 plus the 2 bonuses that you'll get tonight. Okay. So y'all, this is our last call for you to move and execute, because here's the option. You can sit and watch another training. You could say next time, if there is a next time, you can save this for another post, or you can step up, name yourself the one in your family, and position yourself to win. Because I want to meet y'all in Atlanta, and I want to work with y'all in person in Atlanta. Okay. So if you are serious about opening a store in 2026, if you are ready for the funding strategy and not random advice, if you value proximity and you're done playing small with your future, meaning 2026 can't be a repeat of 2025. Like, I don't even want a repeat of my 2025. Like, things have to change, right? If that is you, I want to invite you to make your next move. I want you to enroll in the program. And what I want to do now is stop sharing and answer any questions that you guys may have. Drop them in the chat if you have any questions, guys. Also, if you have enrolled, let us know too. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the chat. I'll stay on for a few more seconds to see if there's any questions in the chat. Also, let me know, are y'all coming into the program? Are we going to see you guys in the program? Let me know if you guys are enrolling and you're going to be in Atlanta. If you are on the fence, what questions do you have so you can go ahead and get off that fence? Y'all hanging on that fence. Where's the ones that said, I'm the one? Miss Darby, are you going to be in the building? Miss Charity Smith, are you going to be in the building? Are we making money moves? Let me know in the chat. If you guys have questions, if you're on the fence, what are your questions so you can get up off that fence, child? Because I know how fear can have us in a chokehold when it is time to invest in ourselves. That is when fear will have you in that chokehold when it is time. Everything is good until it's time to invest in yourself. And then that fear starts to set in like, this is about to be real. Yeah, it's about to get real. Are we really going to execute? Are we really going to show up? Are we really going to change our trajectory? Are we really going to do this? That's when it gets real. And that separates the people who this is just wishful thinking and it sounds nice from the people who are like, yeah, we're really going to do this. Because I could tell you in 2018, I was like, yo, am I really about to do this? And the answer was yes. And I never looked back. And it was the best decision of my life. I never looked back, y'all. And when you're able to become a part of something that is so impactful on so many different levels, and the impact that you now only have on your family, of course, and your children, but on the community, and the look that, man, I actually did this, and the support that you get, I mean, it's indescribable. So let us know, y'all. Are there any questions that I can answer for you guys in the chat? I don't see no questions in the chat, y'all. I'm about to be out. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions to anybody in the chat? If there's no questions, y'all, I thank you so much for joining me tonight on this training about something that is also important to me. And y'all, I will see you guys on the next one. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.